Bienvenidos to Season 3 of Humans in Accounting podcast. In a world full of AI, automation, and endless workflows, we pause for a moment to focus on the real humans behind the numbers. Founders, leaders, humans share their journey, what drives them, and the moments that shape their path. Because behind every balance sheet, there's always a story worth telling. Humans in Accounting is brought to you by South Offices. Hello, everybody, and welcome to a new episode of Humans in Accounting, where leaders, humans, share their story behind their spreadsheets. As you know, I'm Alex Roman, and this podcast is brought to you by South Offices, connecting talent across borders. Today, I'm super happy to have Ashley Connell. Ashley is the CEO of Prowess Project. Ashley, welcome to Humans in Accounting.
Alex, I've been so excited.
Thank you. I'm happy we made this. Actually, we got introduced by Aaron, right? Aaron Bohan.
Big fan.
A few weeks ago, and now we are recording this episode together. So I'm super excited just to talk with you, know you a little bit better. The truth is that we never met physically. We just had a few calls, and now here we are recording this episode. So I'm super excited. Thank you for joining. That's Ashley. I'm super interested. Maybe we can start. I wanna know a little bit more about your background and how you ended up being the CEO of Prowess Project. I'm genuinely curious why you started this business.
Yeah. So I started Prowess because I wanted to solve my, at the time, future problem about how I was going to have kids and a career. And I saw all of the women who were at my same age, at the same points in their career. And I would ask them, are you going up for the next project? Are you taking on the next promotion? And they're just like, Ashley, I can't care for my children or care for my parents and also continue to put in 60-hour work weeks. Hopped on Google and found the horrific Harvard Business Review statistic that 43% of educated professional women in the U.S. leave the workforce to raise kids. And when they're out for just 3 years, they lose 37% of their compensation power forever. But 97% of them would return to the workforce if they had access to flexible jobs. And that was just a massive light bulb moment for me. And I started asking more and more people about it. And this woman who was helping a marketing agency that I owned at the time, she was that person. Super experienced, wicked smart, definitely a people person. And she was working part-time at this job that, quite frankly, she was very bored doing operations and project management and all of these different things. And we teamed up together and built Prowess Project.
Whoa, that's super, super interesting. But hold on. So you started this, but you started with the first client. You started with someone said, hey, or you started the company knowing that this was an issue and then just just to reach out.
Great question. So the original vision of Prowess was basically to be a LinkedIn for moms that wanted to return in some way, shape, or form and couldn't. And I am the quintessential visionary. When it comes to business, I love sales. I love relationships. I love marketing. I love casting this big vision and, I'm bright, shiny object syndrome, the whole thing. Leah, the woman that I was speaking about, who I teamed up with, she is the quintessential integrator. She loves systems and processes and technology and data. And you need to get some shit done, you call Leah. So what happened as we were trying to build this LinkedIn, if you will, is all of my peers who were business owners kept coming to me and they're like, holy smokes, Ashley, how are you making so much progress? And I was like, it's Leah. Their immediate next question was, well, okay, how do I find my Leah? And that was
Right.
this big light bulb. How do we take all of these women who are so competent and have valuable skills and make them these mini integrators or operations people like Leah, and then match them with the CEOs who have this dream for a business but don't know the how to build it. And so that's what we do now. We help CEOs get matched with fractional operations people to run the business while the CEO goes and grows the business.
Okay. Okay. But still, when you started all this, did you already had like an existing client, or you first got the idea, and then you just said, "Hey, look, this is what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna find Leah's forever." I'm sorry, I'm taking you back because I wanna know
Yeah.
how you landed with your first client.
My first client, well, I knew that I needed a case study. I knew I need a testimonial of someone saying, like, yes, this is fabulous. So before Leah was even in the picture, I was that operations person. And so I worked for free for 3 months and I worked on their operations. It was a lot of project management, task management, making sure that their technology was talking to each other. Got an amazing testimonial from her, and she just started sharing with everyone she knew that, hey, there was this solution where someone will be matched in your business who can run it on your behalf. And so it spread like wildfire.
Yeah, yeah, that's usually it's always super important, or it's easier like once you have that first client that it's happy working with you, then it's easier just to get that second one or third one. And that's why I wanted just to know if it was first the company with the idea, or sometimes companies are built when you know, someone comes and say, "Hey, Ashley, maybe you can help me with this, and that." You help them, and you realize, "Hey, maybe I can do this and create a company out of what I started doing." So, okay, super cool. And I understand you work mainly with accounting firms, correct? Oh, I mean, only with
Yes.
accounting firms.
No, mainly with accounting firms. We decided to niche down, and that's a whole story. But we are our niche. The way that we look at it is a magnet, not a filter. So all of our outbound marketing is towards accounting firms, but it's wild of how many people come to us. They're like, well, they work with accounting firms. I bet that that means that they value compliance and confidentiality. Well, I'm a law firm. I value those things too. I bet they're going to do a great job for us. And we would never say no, but it's interesting. It's a magnet, not a filter.
Okay, perfect. And why? Well, why was it accounting firms and not law firms or
Yeah.
retail or startups or tech?
Yeah. So we had been in business for 6 years and we had a variety of different clients, mostly in the professional services space. And so I have two little girls, and I was looking at my time and my stress level and what I wanted my business to look like. And I realized that I needed to focus on one type of business that we could just get super specific and super expert in and just nail it out of the, or what is it, hit it out of the park. So we did a massive research project where I did a ton of like data analysis. I looked at all of our past clients and which ones did we have the most fun working with? What did we really solved the problem that they had? They were so complimentary. Like what was all of that? And accounting just kept coming up over and over and over again. I was like, okay, this is interesting. But before I do anything, I want to validate these assumptions. Like, did we just get lucky to get these a few accounting clients? And so I set out to start doing info interviews with accounting firm owners. And at this point, I am at 61 info interviews, and I learned a ton about accounting firms, and it only made me love them and the people who run it so much more. And it was a no brainer that accounting firms is who we wanted to serve. So we went all in.
I love that you took the time just to do all this research before defining something and say, "Hey, hold on, I just wanna know." Well, as you said, like which were the clients that I had the most.
Yeah.
So that's super super important. And you landed in accounting, and now you're how many interviews you make? You said
61. I'm at 61, goals 100.
61. Okay, here the audience of humans in accounting. Well, it happens to be that it's basically humans that are in accounting. So maybe someone in the future who is watching this episode, maybe they can reach out to you so that they can be yeah, that you can also interview them. Tell me, and then now I'm curious. What are the one or two things you've learned or that
Well, first and foremost, accountants get such a bad rap. Like, I don't know why people assume that they are extremely introverted and not friendly and not people and just want to like sit and look at numbers all day. That's actually not the case. They are the most generous, empathetic, hopeful, problem solving people that I've ever met. And I heard this over and over and over again when I was asking them what they love about their job. And these were firm owners. And they're like, well, Ashley, I have some of the same clients for decades. So I have seen them get married. I've seen them buy their first house. I've seen them have their first kid. I've seen them have their second kid. I've seen them move to a bigger house. They're like, I've been along this journey with them. And oftentimes, I'm the first person that they call when they have a big decision that they're going to make. And that was just so wholesome. And it made me so happy. And then, like, I was thinking about it a little bit more. It's like, you can't hide anything from your accountant. And they probably know you better than your therapist or your doctor. Because you can lie to your therapist. You can tell your therapist that it's always like your husband, your wife, your friend, your whomever, your boss's fault. The accountant, they see it black and white what's really going on here. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying, and I understand exactly where you're going at. But you shouldn't lie. I want to tell the audience you shouldn't lie to your to your therapist. If you're going to a therapist, please tell them the truth, right? As you shouldn't lie to your accountant as well. But yes, you're right, and I agree. I'm not sure. Maybe it's something that it has changed in the last few years. I don't know. Maybe 30, 40, 50 years ago, the typical accountant was just working like with a paper and well, not with a
Yeah.
computer, but and they were just doing numbers by themselves. I think that now it has changed in my experience. I think I told you already, but I'm kind of new to the industry. I've been around for 2 or 3 years now, and I was working all my life, my professional life with tech. And the first
Same.
thing that I noticed is that when I started working with accountants, with the accounting industry, is the sense of community that they have, like sharing information that maybe I don't know. In other industries, you'll see them as, "Hey, why are you sharing that information with someone else who could be your competitor?" No, here it's like and I always say the same. I don't know if I'm just lucky that I just know the same 200 or 300 people and the rest, they're terrible, which I don't think now that's the case.
Doubt it.
But yeah, that's something that happens a lot in this industry. And well, I guess we're lucky just to be here right now.
Yeah. Well, I think there's an abundance mindset in this industry, like plenty to go around. And I think that's why there's not so much of this guarding of information or insight or, I don't know, best practices. It's very much an abundance mindset. And I love that. I'm so grateful for that.
Actually, let me go back to your business, and let's say someone in the future is watching this, and they heard what you said, and they said, actually, that's me. I want to find my Leo. Was it right?
Yeah, my Leah.
How do you actually they have a call with you? Walk me through like what are the first things you do when someone is interested and getting in touch with you for you to help.
Yeah. So the problem that we're trying to solve is how do you, as a business owner, you cannot possibly run the business, do all the delivery, and grow the business at the same time. That is impossible. And yet, that is the pitfall that so many firm owners fall into.
Right.
They look around, they become like the accidental agency or the accidental firm where they look around and it's like all revenue generating people on their team. And then they become the de facto operator and project manager and fire putter outer. So what we do is we made sure that we were matching the CEO who wants someone to own their operations based on compatibility of not only the skills that this person's going to need, but work style with the CEO. So, as all of our operators are coming onto our platform, they go through 100+ hour training on small business operations, technology, project management, emotional intelligence, all these different things. As they're going through that training, we're gathering hundreds, thousands of data points on them. Then, when we are talking to the CEOs who are interested in hiring one of these people fractionally, we do a deep dive on them. So it is a 45-minute, hour-long call where we get a good understanding of you, your firm, where you want to go, this role, the gaps, and who we believe, what traits they need to have to be a good fit with you. We put that into our matching algorithm. It's like match.com for the CEOs and the operators. And we send over top 3 candidates with compatibility score, resume, placement notes, and then they get to interview. Let's say they absolutely love Susie, then Susie comes in and starts working with your firm on a retainer basis, like a bucket of hours that she pulls from.
All right. And so she could be working as well with the other firm owners.
Could be, depending on how much time and energy you need of her time or how much she wants to be working in that week. So that's again why the matching is so critical.
Okay, perfect. Understood. Ashley, I don't know how familiar you are with humans in accounting. Long story short, I am a foodie guy. Between other stuff that I enjoy in life, I like eating good food. And to every single guest, I ask this question that I'm going to ask you. That is basically, Ashley, what's your favorite food?
Okay, so I'm going to go with favorite meal that I've ever had. How about that?
That works. Yeah, but just
Okay,
one.
just one meal.
Yeah.
So my husband and I went to Sevilla and we don't cook. Like that's not a thing. I assemble, dinner. That I cook. And we did a cooking class where there was one woman who took us to the market. We got all fresh food. We went back to her home and she taught us how to make this amazing meal. And that was by far the best meal that I'd ever had. We sat down, we ate it with her. She told us her whole story. I mean, it was, gosh, if I could even remember the names, it was like the spinach thing with chickpeas in it. And then there was like this like awesome roasted chicken and what are they called? Like croquetas. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, I'm pretty good at pronouncing that. Croquetas.
That's the one. Holy smokes. Fabulous.
Perfect. So croquetas, well, croquetas is a word in Spanish for I have no idea how to describe it in English. But and what did it have?
I mean,
Chicken and
yeah, it had like all the scraps of the meal, and it was fabulous. So it's like all the scraps of the meal rolled up into this like dough that I think you fry.
yes, you fry, correct?
My gosh, it was out of this world. It was so good.
But hold on, that was the first and only time you had that meal.
Yeah, yeah. I've never had that since.
Okay, no, but you should
So hold
now
this,
find the
yeah.
recipe. There is
She sent us the
internet and
recipe. I know she sent us the recipe, but I told you I am not a cook or a chef in any stretch of the imagination. It has to be like a moment, like an event, in order to get me in the kitchen for more than like, hey, Lottie, my 4-year-old, I will pour you some cereal or scramble you some eggs. That's like the extent.
I do understand. All right, perfect. Sorry. I had just to ask you that question. This is a question
I
that I've
love
been
it.
asking, and it's for I don't know. I'm doing like a ranking, and whenever I finish with 100 episodes of Humans in Accounting, I'm gonna post the results. croquetas, I'm pretty sure that's the first one. So
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
it's gonna be somewhere, but no, croquetas are really, really good.
Wait, hold on.
Um,
So what's yours? What's your favorite food?
mine it's asado. Asado is like a barbecue, like what we
Yeah.
call here in Argentina a barbecue. And also, I can relate with what you said because it's not only about the food; it's about the experience. Here, when we have asado, it's with family and friends, and we just get together, and we're not eating all the time, but maybe the whole experience it's gonna be 5 hours since we arrive, and then we just have some drinks, and then we have different cuts of meat, and then we have dessert, and maybe then we have a fernet. That's a typical Argentinian drink. So being around
Oh,
with
I
family and friends is what I value the most. And then obviously the meat itself, it's great, but that I'll say that's my favorite food.
I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Well, when I am in Argentina, I want to come to one of your family get-togethers. Though I will not
Absolutely.
be able to understand anything that they're saying, but my daughters will. I will not, but I will be happy sitting there just watching
Of
and
course, of
eating.
course. No, and eating, of course. Right, right, right. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Just let me know if you have plans for the future, just to come to Argentina, to Buenos Aires. I always tell the same to everyone. I'm super excited just to yeah, tell people or to bring friends. So yeah, definitely let me know. Let's go back just I'm curious, and I asked you a little bit about this before. As far as events, do you go to events? Are you planning on going to events for this last part of the year, which we are already in May? Incredible. Now suddenly it's gonna be 2027.
I know it's
I
wild.
cannot believe it. Yeah.
It's wild. So I decided for this year, I'm going to go to a handful. So I'm definitely going to Scaling New Heights. I'm definitely going to Bridging the Gap. And then there may be a few here and there that I just decide on the whim, like, hey, I want to make this one happen. But I'm not going to go to any of the big, big, big ones this year. I'm just going to go to like slightly more intimate, not like the Intuit Connects or anything. Maybe
Okay,
next year.
perfect. That's great. Let's say someone in the future, maybe they're running or they're listening this while they're driving, and they say, "Hey, I just want to reach with Ashley. I'm sure that she can help me out because I'm actually struggling, mom, and I don't have the I'm not gonna have enough time just to grow my business." And Ashley
Yeah.
seems great, and I want just to reach out to her. What's the best way just to reach out to you, Ashley?
Yeah, absolutely. So prowessproject.com is the website, or you can hit me up on LinkedIn. I'm pretty active there. But yeah, we would get on a call and I'll go into specifics on how this really works, what our frameworks are, the examples of what we do for people. Cause I know I gave a very high level view on this, but yeah, happy to dive in with anyone who needs help.
Okay, that's great. Actually, let me ask you a last one. This question I like. Yeah, basically, I think I learned what the answers that each guest is giving me. Let's say someone now in May 2026, they're evaluating the possibility of starting their own accounting firm or maybe starting their own business. Let's go with this. They're planning just to start a business, that it could be anything from accounting or any other industry. What's one or two advice you could give them, or what's an advice that you would like that someone could have given you when you started your business?
I love this question. So, fall in love with the people that you are helping and the problem that you're solving, not the solution.
Okay, can you repeat that? Is fall in love with the people that you're working, you said?
We're helping, like your customers, your client, your ideal client. Fall in love with them and fall in love with the problem that you're solving, not the solution of how you're solving it. And why this has been so helpful for me is our quote unquote solution with Prowess has pivoted 1,000 times in the past 7 years, but the people who we're truly helping, that is what gets me up every morning and continues even on the hard days. because it's the stories, it's the big smiles, it's the, oh my gosh, Ashley, thank you for prowess. I went on a 2 week vacation and didn't look on my cell phone one time. It's that. That is what this is all about. That's what having a business is for, is helping people do that.
Yes, I agree. I agree. That's super powerful, and that's exactly how it works. And it's important just to have mind that from day zero when you start, because that's what, as you said, what is keeping us all. Because we could be doing like anything else, but when you say, "All right, I'm doing this in order to achieve that," that's super, super, super important. Ashley, it was super nice having you in Humans in Accounting. I'm super happy that Erin sent
Me
that
too.
message and made that introduction. So yeah, it was super nice having you. Thank you so much. And as you said, if you're ever in Argentina, in Buenos Aires, just let me know. I'll be more than happy to show you around, you and your family. All right.
Famous last words. We will be there. Thank you so much, Alex. This was awesome.
Thank you, Ashley. Have a good one. All right.
Bye.